Shalom, I'm Jasmine Elise Roberts, and welcome to the Spiritborne Journal. This is a sacred space, a quiet meeting place for poetry, reflection, and prayer. It's for those who are healing, rebuilding, and learning to breathe again after the breaking. Here, we don't rush the process, we sit with it. We let the words, the silence, the spirit do what only the Most High can do, restore. So, wherever you are right now, take a deep breath and come as you are. Because even here, in the middle of the process, you are seen, you are loved, and you are still being made whole. Now, let's begin with today's entry. Shalom, and welcome back to the Spiritborne Journal. I'm your host, Jasmine Elise Roberts, and this episode is special. It's a reflection written on my birthday, October 30th. Now, I don't celebrate my birthday, not because I'm ungrateful, but because of my faith and my history with this day. You see, I don't recall a single birthday that brought joy, not one that held a positive core memory. And for a long time, that reality carried pain. But over the years, the Father began to teach me something sacred about reflection, that sometimes what feels like rejection is actually protection. So when it comes to this day, I don't throw a party or blow out candles. I sit in stillness and ask, Father, how have I grown? Where have I fallen short? And what have you healed in me that I couldn't see? Hey, so before we get into the next segment, I want to share with you something blooming inside the Spiritborn family. Hey, beautiful soul, have you heard the news? The Sacred Flower magazine is blooming soon, a faith based creative journal designed to nourish your spirit and spark your joy. Every issue is filled with devotionals, reflections, creative writing, and stories of restoration, all crafted to help you draw closer to the Most High and rediscover your peace in your daily life. Launching this January 2026, you can pre order your copy at sacredflowermag.com. Whether you're journaling through healing or celebrating growth, the Sacred Flower magazine will meet you right where you are, helping you bloom inside out. Because faith is a garden, and you, beloved, are the flower. Now, let's get back to the Spiritborn Journal. All right, about to tell this story. So, 2 years ago, October 2023, during the Feast of Tabernacles, a time that's supposed to be full of joy, worship, and celebration, I broke down in the middle of fellowship. And everything I had buried, the guilt, the shame, the grief, the heartache, heartbreak, all came rushing to the surface. I remember sitting at the table and I was surrounded by saints, but it felt like I was the only one in the room. And I just had tears streaming down my face, and I was just looking down, trying to cover my face. And only thing I could think to do at that time was to grab my phone and open up the notes app. And this is what I wrote. My chest is feeling hollow, like there is something that's supposed to be there and it hurts. In some moments, it's almost like it's hard to breathe. With every breath, I nearly welled up to cry, but I know I shouldn't for fear of going insane. I feel shame most of all. I'm not living up to any standards or expectations. I feel like I'm wandering at certain moments in my life. I miss my mom. I feel like I'm failing in everything. I feel like I have no real goal I can obtain. Everything is too far out of reach. I wonder if I'm ever going to reach any of my personal goals. Was I ever supposed to do anything I've ever done in the past? Is there anything I'm doing now? Does it matter? Will I ever lose this weight? Is there anything deeper than pain, emptiness, abyss? That feeling like I'm falling into a bottomless pit when anxiety turns into terror, it turns into dread, it hits your body like it hits your body instead of a cold hard floor. That's what I was feeling in that moment. And it sounds all over the place, but that's what it felt like. I wrote that on October 5th, 2023. And even now, when I read it, I remember the hollow ache that came with every keystroke. But then something holy happened. A mother from another congregation walked up to me, sat down beside me, introduced herself, and started small talk. Nothing deep, just warm presence and care. And I didn't know it then, but that mother is also an author. And I don't believe for a second that that was a coincidence. Because in the middle of my breakdown, the Most High was already introducing me to my next assignment and confirming that He still saw me. After that night, I felt terrible. I thought, how could I fall apart during the feast, a time of joy, and here I was breaking. So I repented. And I asked the Father to forgive me for my unbelief, my hidden pain, my hypocrisy, for masquerading as healed while still hurting. Then I began to rebuild, brick by brick, discipline by discipline. I got off social media. I set new boundaries. I started fasting. And one of those fasts lasted 40 days. During that season, I learned something vital. The battle is not flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers. Ephesians 6:12. And the greatest battlefield was my own mind. Once I admitted where I was, once I confessed instead of concealed, the healing began. Confess your faults one to another and pray for one another, that ye may be healed. James 5:16. Healing started when I stopped hiding. And over time, through fasting, therapy, and prayer, nutrition, movement, and consistency, my body began to follow my spirit into freedom. So now, 2 years later, I'm not who I was. No insulin resistance, no high blood pressure, no night terrors, no spasms, no incontinence, no fear of sudden noises or smells, no more waking up gasping for air. My sleep is peaceful. My body is more stable. My spirit is anchored. And the woman who once felt invisible is now an author, a creator, a publisher, able to tell her story through Restored from Brokenness to Covenant, through the Sacred Flower magazine, and right here with you through the Spiritborne journal. If this were to be my last episode, if all I ever produce were these words, it would still be worth it. Because the gratitude and the joy I have now, it was worth every tear that led me here. And would I go through it again? Yes. If it meant I would end up back in the hands of the Most High every single time. What if your healing could begin today? Restored from Brokenness to Covenant is my free ebook, a faithful journey through restoration, renewal, and returning to the Most High's promises. And now you can go even deeper with the Restored Companion Bundle. It has inside the 14-day devotional, the 30-day prayer reset workbook, and Restored the Coloring book, all designed to help you pray, reflect, and create your way back to wholeness. This complete bundle is valued at $60, but it's available now for just $27, only through the end of February. Download your free ebook and grab the full bundle today at sacredflowermag.com or click the link in the description, because healing isn't just a moment, it's a covenant. Now let's return to the Spiritborne Journal. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalms 147:3. For you, O Yahweh, have tested us. You have refined us as silver is refined. Psalm 66:10. And we know that all things work together for the good of those who love the Most High, to those who are called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28. Every heartbreak, every test, every dark night wasn't punishment, it was purification, refining for a relationship. Whew. Let's take a breath. Let's sit together in this moment. When was the last time I mistook breaking for failure instead of refinement? What painful season can I now look back on and say, it was worth it? Where can I choose gratitude today, even if I don't see it yet, if I don't see the full picture? Write it out, speak it out loud, let thankfulness become your testimony. Father, thank you for using brokenness as a soil for beauty. For every listener who feels hollow, fill the empty places with your spirit. Remind them that what looked like collapse was actually you rebuilding their foundation. Thank you for the healing we can feel and the healing still in the process. Teach us to stop chasing milestones and start celebrating mercy. We're not who we were, and that alone is worth praise. In Yeshua's name, Amen. Thank you for joining me here in the Spiritborne Journal. If today's reflection spoke to your heart, subscribe to Spiritborne Publishing and the Sacred Flower magazine for more stories, devotionals, and poetic reflections like this one. And remember, your growth may be quiet, but it's still sacred. I'll meet you here again soon. Until then, may your words be healing and your journey be Spiritborne.